ask you a very simple question. As a parent, what you usually do when your child misbehaves? We usually tend to hit the child. We usually scold the child in such situations. But today in this video, I'll tell you 6 interesting and easy ways through which you can inculcate good manners in your child. So let's start. So, here are the 6 easy ways through which you can inculcate good manners in your child, and that too in a fun way. Number 1, always lead by example. See, we are social animals and we learn by observing, and same applies to children. Children learn a lot by observing the behavior of their parents and caregivers. So, it is very important for every parent to model the manners which you want your child to adopt, like saying thank you, saying please, being respectful, and demonstrating patience. Now, for instance, while visiting a grocery store, always ask for the items you need by saying please. And whenever you receive the items, say thank you. Your child will just learn by observing you. Second, role playing. Role playing proves to be very effective when it comes to inculcating good manners in children. It is very important that parents must engage in role-playing scenarios to practice good manners. This will make learning fun and also provide a practical understanding of how to behave in different social situations. For instance, you want to teach your child to greet when someone visits home. You don't have to do anything much. Just a little role play will do wonders. Ask your child to be the guest, and you play the role of the child who will receive the guest at home. When the guest enters, greet him by folding your hands and saying namaste and asking his or her well-being. The child will have that learning with him for the rest of life. Number 3, involve your children in social situations. No matter how much good manners you teach your child, until and unless the child is not exposed to real life situations, he will not learn. So it is very important to include your children in social situations where they can practice good manners, such as family gatherings or outings. This hands-on experience will help reinforce the importance of appropriate behavior. Let them interact with variety of people whenever you are attending a marriage, a birthday party, or any other social setting. Number 4, use stories and books. If you all remember, we all during our childhood had heard hundreds of stories from our parents and grandparents. And all those stories have taught us many things. So we as parents can utilize these stories and books that emphasize good manners and social etiquette. Just start reading stories to your child, and this provides an opportunity to discuss and reinforce positive behaviors. Story books for kids, I tell you, are endless. Panchtantra ki kahaniyan, Sudha Murthy's grandparents' bag of stories, 108 moral stories, and the list I tell you is endless. You can also find these books on Amazon easily or any local bookstore nearby. Number 5, correcting behavior calmly. Now, usually when our child misbehaves at home or outside, what we tend to do? We scold the child. You all will agree on this. But on the contrary, we should correct the child very calmly and constructively. See, shaming or embarrassing the child is not a good thing and not at all acceptable. So from now onwards, if you find yourself in such a situation, just sit and talk to your child and explain to him that why a certain behavior is inappropriate and suggest an alternative. For example, if your child disrespects someone, you should sit with the child and tell him that this is a bad thing and it may ruin relationships. Number 6, consistent reinforcement. Now it is very important that you reinforce good manners consistently. Always praise and acknowledge your child whenever they display good manners. See, whenever we do something good and someone praises us, we feel motivated from inside and want to do that thing again. Same happens with kids. Positive reinforcement helps them associate good behavior with positive outcomes. So, from now onwards, whenever your child behaves in a good way, just appreciate your child by clapping, giving a pat on the back, giving stars, stickers, some toy, or anything which you find convenient. I assure you that by adopting these ways, your child will definitely develop good manners. For more parenting tips, stay tuned and find more interesting videos on the channel. For one-on-one consultation, you can drop a message. The contact details are mentioned in the description box.